So a lot of people think somehow North Korea began as this like dark, scary place, right? But it actually began with a very handsome man with a very nice, charming smile, like Mamdani had. In the 1940s, when my grandparents was in North Korea, there's this guy named Kim Il-sung, the first Fat Kim dictator, by the way. There are 3 of them, right? So he came along, and he was a young, passionate man, and he said to my grandmother, so this beautiful story. It is so evil. They are greedy capitalists with money, and there are poor peasants who cannot go to hospital, who cannot even send their kids to school for free. This is wrong. Like, I can do something about this. How about we do something called socialism and collectivism and give opportunity to everybody? Nobody starves. Nobody is not getting education. Everybody gets a free education. Everybody gets a free healthcare. And everybody gets free housing and free food from the government. And it sounded so awesome, right? It sounded so compassionate. Like, we don't want our neighbor to be on the homeless and suffer, right? So with that beautiful promise, my grandmother and my grandfather gave up their rights one by one. They first gave up their freedom of speech because there are some horrible people saying things like capitalism was good. So we had to get rid of freedom of speech. And they also had to give up private property because you cannot be richer than somebody, right? We had to take all the things from the rich people first to create this paradise. So let's abolish private property. Nobody owns their home. Nobody has a car. Nobody owns land. It's a public thing. So they gave up that. And then they also eventually had to give up their freedom of movement, freedom of religion. One by one, they gave up all their rights in the just name of this paradise where everybody is equal. 80 years later now, guys, we all know that North Korea is not a paradise. It became the biggest concentration camp, a nation state in human history. The entire nation became a political prison camp. Nobody allowed to in, nobody allowed to leave. And with this promise of equality, the regime divided people into 51 different caste systems. The regime got an idea. Oh, we can do something about it. We still can divide people. They decided to divide based on who our ancestors were. If your great-grandfather was a landowner, they say your blood is tainted, your genetics is oppressive.
History doesn't repeat, but it sure as hell rhymes.